Lianne Garciano, and I am the founder of the Open Invite community. The Open Invite community is a community for young professionals which equips, educates, and empowers them to find and pursue their passions and purpose. Here, we discuss topics related to career and money, health and wellness, and passion and purpose itself. So, before I share the story behind this community, I'd like to talk about the 5 steps to be able to start your own passion project. First would be to ask yourself what makes you happy, or what are the things that you love to do. The second would be how can you make the most out of the skills or talents that you have. Third would be to reach out to the right people. So these could be your mentors or your ex-colleagues, so people you look up to and people you've worked with before. The fourth would be, of course, to research. You always have to look at the similar things with things that are similar to your ideas, and always just find inspiration, because this will help you come up with the right messaging for your platform. And the fifth would be, of course, to just go for it. So this is the execution process. So this is really what I didn't know these steps before I actually started the community. So before I expound on this, I guess the story behind Open Invite was when the pandemic happened. So before the pandemic, I was I was a freelance PR and events manager, and I started around early 2019 doing freelance, because my first 2 jobs were both full-time. I worked in an events agency and a PR agency, and I decided to just become a freelance PR and events manager after that. And so I was very busy last year in 2019, and then I don't know what made me think to start to get into a full-time job. So I was going through final interviews early this year, and I was looking forward to being on the brand side rather than the agency side. And but then last March, the lockdown happened, and these companies which I applied to had a freeze hiring. So that, of course, it frustrated me. And being a freelancer, I'm pretty sure others would notice that it was harder to find projects this year. So yeah, that's probably after that, I still was going through interviews after, even if I was frustrated that I was already in the final stages for some of these companies. So I go through first initial interviews I go through first interviews for other companies, which I found in April and May, but I guess these companies weren't sure of whether or not they wanted to still hire. They were just, checking out, if people are still available or still hireable at this time. So I decided that, maybe I should just keep learning. Aside, it's everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone realized that this pandemic was sort of also a blessing in disguise, because we got to have more time for ourselves and for our families. We were always just at home, so I decided to just attend free webinars. There were so many free webinars available online, and I'd always just register. And there was just one time when this webinar struck me. I think it was about influencer marketing, and then after that, it just hit me. And I told myself, I want to come up with a community for young professionals and to inspire and help them along the way in terms of life, in terms of their career. And I just started writing. I started, typing, writing, researching the things that I could actually do. Because as a freelance manager, I did some events where I had to look for speakers, reach out to speakers via LinkedIn, via Instagram, Facebook. So it made me think okay, why not I do the same thing for this community? And from there, I decided to come up with Open Invite. Of course, it took me 2 months to actually, research about all of this. So now I go back to the 5 steps that I mentioned earlier. So first, again, what makes you happy and what do you love to do? Me, I think what always makes me happy is when I see other people happy and when I see people being inspired by the things that I share. Because as a person, I'm the type that I'd always share, I like sharing on my Instagram stories or in my group chats, things like interviews that struck me, articles that struck me, webinars that they can join as well. And so I guess instead of reaching out to just my circles, to just my friends and family, why not also reach out to people who I don't know and who are also we're also going through the same things and who are also young professionals like me. So again, what makes you happy and what you love to do? So yeah, that's what made me happy, just seeing other people happy. And I guess what I love to do was just really, inspiring people through the speakers that I'll be featuring, through these articles that I share. So yeah, I mean, it's very simple, but that's really my happiness, just seeing people happy and seeing people work on their own personal and professional lives through the content that I put out or that I share. So second would be, how can you make the most out of skills that you have? So with Open Invite, again, I decided that my niche would be, or something that would be different in terms of this community, would be to feature speakers, to have a speaker series. I mean, aside from the inspirational content that's been out in Open Invite, I do also have a series where I feature speakers who are from different aspects, from different industries, from the food industry, from the arts industry, from career, the professional industry, and from what else? Finance industry. So it's really just catering to or addressing the problems of young professionals like us. And these speakers are like-minded individuals. These speakers aren't just some of them are mentors, some of them are just our age, my age, and it's just them sharing their stories which come from their hearts. So also that's another thing. I really make it a point that what I put out there adds value. What I put out there comes from my heart, comes from the hearts of those people sharing their stories. So yeah, that's first step 2. And the third would be to reach out to the right people. I guess the beauties of being a freelancer is that you get to choose the people you work with. And yeah, so I reached out to previous colleagues. I reached out to I asked advice to some seniors of mine before on how I could do this, and how I can actually ask on how I can actually start it, like if what I'm doing is even correct, or what I'm doing is really gonna give an impact or make an impact. So yeah, I went through phone calls, and I really am thankful for these people because they've shared their knowledge even more. They're the ones who inspired me. So I've always looked up to them. And again, never be afraid to ask for help, because again, no man is an island. Okay, number 4 would be research. So yeah, since I had so much time, I didn't have a job, I didn't have projects. So I had so much time to research, I had so much time to look for articles that inspired me, I had so much time to watch videos, attend webinars that would help me start my community. So these webinars were how to start your business, or how to start a passion project, or what's the right content that I should put out, when should I put it out, how do I reach my target audience? Is engagement important? So these are the things that I never learned as a PR and events manager, because these are very under the scope of works of the social media managers. And again, everyone's going online and you can just look for all of these videos, and it's all for free. So it's really self-education, which is fun. You know, there's Coursera, there is IGTV, there's YouTube. People are very generous with the worksheets and the manuals that you can download online for free, and you can just, you know, answer these whenever you have time, and it will help you think of what else you can do for your business or for your community. And I just kept doing that. And then the fifth would be to just go for it. So, you know, of course I had my doubts. I had my, you know, I'd always talk to my friends or my family and be like, is this even worth it? Like, of course I invested on some things, but I mean, not a big amount, but then, I mean, basically what I'm saying is, you just go for it. Like, don't let the doubts stop you from doing what you want to do. Don't let fear come in the way. So really just go for it. And once you start, it's gonna make you happier. Once you start and once you see how people enjoy the content that you put out, people relate to the content that you put out. That's another important thing, that it's very relatable, and then that's already a fulfillment, or like it's a small win for the day. So yeah, just once you start it, then you'll be more motivated to keep going. So yeah, basically, I hope that you learned something. Again, those are the 5 steps from my own personal experience on how you can start your own passion project. And I hope that it is something that you can also apply if you do figure it out one day. So thank you so much, Ginger, for inviting me, and I hope everyone learned something today.